Hey guys, I'm Mel and today I'm going to do another Top 5 Wednesday. As always, Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey over at Ginger is Lainey, and I'm going to leave her link and the Goodreads group down below so you can join. This week's topics is Top 5 graphic novels. I started reading graphic novels very recently. I only read 5 graphic novels, but these 5 I absolutely adore them, and I wouldn't be recommending them and saying that I love them if I wouldn't have. I just wouldn't have done this video, but I really wanted to talk about them. Number 5 is Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. This is about a girl who works in a restaurant and she wants to open another restaurant by herself, and she finds out that she can go back in time and fix things. And as we all know, those things don't always go very well. This was absolutely beautiful. The graphics and the colors and the characters are super interesting. This was one of my first graphic novels that I've read. It got me interested from beginning to end. The humor was really great, and you know, the plot in general is super interesting. I did have some problems with it because it felt really cliche and predictable at some point, but I really enjoyed this. As all the books I'm going to mention here, I highly recommend this book. Number 4 is Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and I'm sure everybody's going to talk about this one. This is one of the most interesting things that I've read. I'm talking not only graphic novels, I'm talking all the novels. It has a very complex plot. It's about 2 star-crossed lovers and they have a child. They are running away from a lot of different people who are looking for them, and they are trying to save their child. This is super complex. The universe is awesome, and I would say it's not for everybody. It definitely has some adult content. I wouldn't advise you to read it if you don't like this strong language and nudity and sex and things like that. This is such an amazing series of books. I've only read the first 2 though, and I can't wait to read the other ones, but the 2 that I've read are beautiful. The graphics are amazing, the colors are beautifully used, the chapters always end with an amazing picture like this, and there are so many races and different species that we get to meet. Number 3 is In Real Life by Cory Doctorow, and this is about a girl who starts playing a video game, and this is like an IRL video game, and she starts living in it, and she meets this boy who works in China as, you know, like a gold farmer. You know, he picks up things from this world and they sell it for real money. This book, guys, blew my mind. The colors were super well used and the drawings are beautiful, but that is not as strong as the plot. It's a super short book and I did wish it was longer, but in such a short book it touched so many subjects and so many important subjects. It's always very interesting to hear how the gaming industry is growing and how it changes from place to place. I thought this was super important and intense. Yeah, and it also had feminist undertones, which I always appreciate. My number 2 and my number 1 were really fighting for the first place. I had to choose between the book that broke my heart and the book that made me laugh out loud so much. I finally chose in number 2 Nimona by Noelle Stevenson, and this was my favorite graphic novels until last night when I read another one that took that place away, but they are both there. It's about a girl who is a shapeshifter and she decides to be the sidekick for this villain, and this villain is fighting with the system and with his former best friend who is a knight. Not only the graphics and the drawings and the colors were beautiful in this novel, but the humor was so great. It was right up my alley. It was my kind of humor. I honestly laughed out loud reading this book, and it had some very intense moments that I wasn't expecting. The writing style was gorgeous, and Nimona is definitely one of my favorite characters in graphic novels and in any novel. She's amazing. And finally, my number 1, which I read last night because I wanted to read another novel so I could do this video. I wanted to read something that I knew I would like, but I did not only enjoy it, this book blew my mind. and is The Sculpture by Scott McCloud. When I finished that book, I knew instantly that it was one of my favorite books that I've read this year. The art was gorgeous and the entire thing was so well crafted. The story was brilliantly told, it was beautiful and touching and heartbreaking. It touched a lot of subjects, but it never went off track of what the novel wanted to say. This book, I think, is definitely not for everybody, but if it hits you, it will crush you. I think it was the dialogues, it was the drawings, it was the use of the panels and the speech balloons, and it all worked wonderfully together to make this gorgeous piece of art. It's definitely my favorite graphic novel that I've read so far. Let me know what your favorite graphic novels are, and if you have a video, let me know so I can check them out. If you have any recommendations for graphic novels that I should read, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hope you have an amazing day, hope you liked it. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!